I'm so glad you're here. This is one of my favorite things to do. And boy, do I get a lot of garbage for it. On the internet, oh my gosh, you guys. Have you seen any of that junk? Oh, goodness. It's really amazing. It's amazing that some people just, they get very militant, very upset.
They don't have to come, do they?
No, they don't have to, but for whatever reason, they just really don't like the fact that somebody would share or facilitate, there's a good word, facilitate a time for people who want to come together and share something of import, of eternal importance and value, something very precious. And some people don't get that. And it's not enough that they don't get it. They don't want you to get it either. Know what I mean? It's not enough that they're not content to sit in a room and say, I don't really like that happens. What they have to do is they have to get on the internet and troll and make up mean things and make up, and just kind of trash it. So that's why it is all the more precious to me that you guys are here. I adore you, and I hope you know that. I have something very, very special. First of all, I'd like to start us in prayer. Is that okay? I have to ask permission because I don't want to offend anybody, but I assume that since you came here, you're okay with me praying for you. Is that all right? Okay, good. Because I was going to do it anyway. Father in heaven, thank you for this beautiful day. We have so many blessings and gifts that surround us. Last night we closed our eyes with the full expectation of waking up in the morning, that the sun would rise, our eyes would open, we would have a whole new day in front of us, and what were we going to do? And we planned it all out, we have all these fun activities, but we were not guaranteed this day. We were not promised that we would wake up this morning. This day is a gift. The friends that surround us, the bodies that carry us here and there, the brains in our head that help us think and feel and relate and interact. So many blessings that surround us. And the greatest one of all is your love for us, your desire for relationship with us. Yeah, go to church, sure. But if not, much more important, relationship with you. And my greatest desire for everyone here this morning is that they will sense your presence and your love for them in a way that they never have before. Everyone here has probably heard about you. Perhaps it's not accurate information. Maybe so. And wherever these people are in their lives, I pray that you would rush into their hearts this morning with a fresh sense of who you really are. Not the grandpa, not the big man upstairs, not Santa Claus, not a big gray-bearded figure on a throne, not a guy floating on a cloud reaching down to man. Give them a brand new, fresh, personal, intimate image of who you are. And more than that, of your intense love for each and every one of them. Open every heart this morning, starting with mine. In Jesus' name, amen. And thank you for coffee. Because I love it. Almost Saturday, God made coffee. And then he rested. You guys, I have a special surprise for you this morning. I have never done this before. So the people that have been in one of these before are like, oh my goodness, what's he going to do? Last year, here, at this convention, I met a young lady who had the most amazing story. And Michelle and I went downstairs to the food court with this young lady and her friends and sat there like this. tears well up inside us as we listen to this young lady's story. And the first thing I thought was, people need to hear this story. People need to know this girl's story. Because all of us are at different places in our lives. All of us have different struggles, right? Different challenges, different obstacles, barriers. Could be family, could be friends, could be home situation, could be school, could be work related, could be physical ailment, whatever. But this lady's story and what she shared with us was so impactful to me that I thought, you know what, we need to find an opportunity. I told her, we need to figure something out. Sometime, somewhere, we need to figure out something for you to share this with the other people here, because I think it's life-changing. So I'm going to introduce you to Sunny. Sunny, if you want to make your way up here. And we are going to, let's see. Ooh, let me get you a chair from up here. Everybody welcome Sunny for me. And I will sit on the lowly piano bench. Let's see. Sunny is not used to Sunny is not used to being put in a position to speak and orate. So we talked this morning about maybe making a little more informal, and I would ask her certain questions to help her kind of focus exactly what she wanted to say to you. So Sunny, tell all of our friends here about who you are and your background and what you shared with me last year.
Okay. I am an anime fan, I'm a cosplayer, and I have brain cancer. I was diagnosed with a pilocytic astrocytoma in December of '08, and I was given 2 years to live 2 years ago. So right now I'm beating the odds. The tumor has slowed its growth, and it's now just a wait and watch right now. It's pretty much, if it starts growing, I have about 6 months to live. So as far as I see it, death lives in my brain. And I've come to terms with that. I know that I'm not going to survive this. I know that when I do die, it'll either be a very slow process or I'll die of a sudden stroke. But none of this has been a hindrance to me. To me, this diagnosis has been, if anything, my green light.
How old are you, Sunny?
I'm the age when I stop answering that question.
Let me see your driver's license. How old are you really?
I will be 30 in 7 days.
30. 30. I think that's important. I just think that's important. So how did you come to be diagnosed? Tell me about your symptoms that caused you to go, hey, something's not quite right. I should get this checked out.
Well, I lost 25% of the sensation and strength in the left side of my body, and the doctors just dismissed that you're too young to have a brain tumor. It's just a side effect of your migraines, which I had all the time. And it wasn't until they did a PFO, which is a hole in my heart, and a migraine study when they found out that I did have a hole in my heart, and they did a brain scan to see if I had a stroke already, but I didn't. I had a brain tumor instead. So that's when they discovered the lump, the hole, whatever you want to call it. And it wasn't until December when I went in for a biopsy of it that they discovered actually what it was. But I walked into the hospital fine. I didn't walk out. I woke up I was partially paralyzed, couldn't eat or drink normally, I couldn't speak very well, I was half blind, I couldn't walk, I couldn't move very well, my eyes couldn't move very well, I couldn't move my head whatsoever. I was completely dependent on other people to provide for me, to get me dressed, to shower me, to feed me, everything. And it was an incredibly humbling experience, and I remember laying in ICU, staring at the ceiling tiles, wondering, how do I respond to this? How am I supposed to feel? And I realized that I could either be depressed about it, miserable, which was completely justifiable, or I could just be happy anyway. There isn't a rule anywhere that says you have to be miserable when you are sick and in pain. So I chose to be happy anyway, and I went forward with that choice ever since.
And you, this was discovered in '08?
Yes.
So 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And help us understand when you realized what you were facing. I can only imagine, because I can't imagine what all of you, I mean, all of the thoughts and all, that would come rushing into your head. Share with us, what were some of your initial thoughts that you are 28 years old, and you have a brain tumor that is, according to the doctors, going to end your life in 2 years.
It took time. No one can just accept everything all at once, so I took everything gradually, a little bit of understanding here and there. At first I, of course, asked why, because this wasn't the first bad thing that had happened in my life. I've been an abused kid, a homeless teen. I grew up in a broken home. I've been single, married, and divorced. I've been in the military, been civilian. I've been a little bit of everything. And I'm a foster kid as well. So this is just one more thing. You think there's some kind of limit, like you're only supposed to experience one really bad thing in your life, and that's your obstacle in life. But no, this was just one more thing, and it seemed like a pretty big thing. But just like a reed bends in the wind and a tree snaps in half and dies, you have to become flexible to survive everything. And you would think that maybe God is angry with you, or you're doing something bad and you are being corrected. But that's never the case. I think Job and Jesus would have something to say about that. No, this is not punishment. This is just one more thing. This is God's way of putting me on His path, not my own. I grew up with my own plans, and they were worthy goals. I was in the Marine Corps. I was a combat motion and media specialist, and that was going to be my ticket to be a director. That's what I had always dreamed to be. But illness knocked that aside. I had chronic migraines, really chronic migraines. Then I thought, well, if I can't do that because of illness, maybe I can be a paramedic or work as a translator in the hospital or work with mentally challenged adults. But each plan I made fell through. I was making worthy goals, yes, but they were not what God had in store for me. That's not what He had planned for me. And I realized that I had no control over my life. In fact, I never did from the beginning. No one does. You think you do, but you're not in control. So I gave up control. I handed my life over to God.